Hello everyone and welcome to Heathered Knits. I am your host Heather and I am coming to you this Sunday, October 31st, Halloween, from my home in mid-Michigan where I live with my two children, Abby who is 16 and Philip who is 11. Welcome to all of you coming and checking out my podcast. If you're here for the first time, welcome. I'm very glad that you are here and have popped in to spend some time with me today. For those of you who are coming back, welcome back. It does always mean so much to me that you come and join me and spend some time with me out of your busy schedule. I do appreciate it. So thank you for coming and being here. This is a podcast, I guess, where I talk about my knitting and what's been going on in my life and whatnot. Last time I uploaded, I did more of a vlog style, and it was a little bit longer because it was homecoming week and there was a lot that was going on, and so I just kind of took you along throughout the week. So for those of you who watched that, thank you for watching. Like I said, I know it was a little bit longer than what I typically record or put together, but like I said, it was because there was just a lot that was happening that particular week. It was a very, very busy week, and that's kind of why I haven't recorded anything more, just because that week took a lot out of me from the physical perspective. And I'll go into more of that stuff later in the life segment, because I know some of you aren't interested in that, and that's completely fine. You're really just more curious about what's been going on for me knitting-wise. And so I will, without further ado, get started talking about my knitting. So one of the obvious things maybe is, and I can't remember if I showed it, but I am wearing my Weekender pullover by Andrea Mowry, which I finished about a month or so ago, and I just finished weaving in the ends today. I blocked it and I did everything, but I hate weaving in ends, and so I just never got around to doing it. So I'm wearing my Weekender. I'll try to stand up a little bit so you guys can see. So I finished it. It's boxy, so it's big and it's oversized, so it's not like necessarily like the most flattering of cuts on a sweater for me, but it's really comfortable. It's quite warm. It's what I'm happy with it. The color isn't the color that I was hoping that it was going to be, so that made me a little bit disappointed, but overall I'm happy with the knit. I like it. I think that it will get some wear, and yeah. I did make a modification with it where I adjusted the shoulders. You can kind of see a little bit of the shirt I'm wearing underneath. But anyway, this is originally supposed to be a very boat necky sort of, my hair is in the way, boat necky kind of sweater. So if you look at the photos from the pattern, it's almost like the opening of the neck goes like out to like here. And I didn't want that. I don't really like a particularly large boat neck. So when I was binding off for the shoulder stitches, I think it was 4 more that I bound off for. I can't recall. But I bound off extra stitches to make it more narrow. And it works. It's like when I was working on it, I was like, oh my goodness, this neck is not going to be wide enough to get over my head. But it is. It is just wide enough. I wouldn't have bound off any more stitches. But I like the way that it lays. I like the way that it sits, that it's not super far over on my shoulders. I can wear a t-shirt underneath it and you can't see like the t-shirt bunching up. I don't like that look. So I am happy with how it turned out. So like I said, it's very warm, and we have definitely been hit with crisp, cool fall weather here in Michigan, and so I have been wearing the knitted sweaters, and this one is definitely one that is going to be getting some wear for sure. Now, I do have 2 works in progress going on right now. I'll show you the first, not very exciting one, which is just a pair of vanilla socks. I can't remember if I had finished the first one the last time I recorded. I don't think I had because it's been a while, but I did finish the first one. Like I said, this is just a plain vanilla sock that has been with me for football games and diving meets and bus waitings and all of those things where you have a lot of downtime as a parent with kids and activities. That has been what these socks have been. And I am not super far on the second one, kind of partway down through the leg, and this yarn, I was trying to find the band because it's like I can't remember the details of this yarn. This yarn comes from Bumblebee Acres Fiber Farm, and the colorway is called Lallybrock. And it is a Corriedale nylon blend, which is a new blend for me. So it has a little bit more of a toothy feel to it, but it still is soft, so it's not scratchy, but it's definitely not quite as like buttery and soft as say a merino is. But I do like it a lot. I really like the colorway. I like the way that it's knitting up. I'm enjoying it. So I've been working on those socks, just like I said, as just kind of things that as I'm waiting for stuff, those are getting work done. The other thing that I am working on is the Stephen West Shawlography Mystery Knit Along. And so since that is something that is a mystery knit along, even though the last clue is now out, it hasn't been officially spoiled, so I don't want to spoil things for anybody. So before I show that though, I will show you the colors that I am using to knit this shawl. I really like my colors a lot. I'm really liking them. The shawl itself has been a lot of fun to knit. Like everything with Stephen West, there's some craziness in there and those moments where you're like, what is going on? But it all comes together and it all ends up being really cool, and it's just a lot of fun to knit. So I will show you what my colors are, and also what their colorway names are and where they came from. Most of these came from Lolo Did It. I had gotten a kit from her, but I substituted out a color that I liked better that I had. So the first color, color A, is this purple, and it is called Prince. So this is my color A, called Prince. Color B is this gray, and that is called Coal Miner's Daughter. Color C is from Lola Bean Yarn Company, and it is this really beautiful like aqua blue, and this colorway is called Calming. I used this color to knit my Igneous sweater from Mina Phillip, and I had a whole skein left, and so I really liked the way this color went with my other colors, and so I just included it. And then this one is my color D, and this is called, hold on, I can't remember if this is Anduin or Rivendell. Anduin. And then this is my color E, and this one is called Rivendell. So I'm gonna hold up all 5 colors together so you can see them like together, and then I'll show you the shawl. So that's the way they look together. And like I said, it has been a lot of fun to knit. I have really enjoyed knitting this quite a bit. I got kind of behind on Clue 2 because Clue 2 had a lot of knitting with it, so I got a little bit behind. And I'm on Clue 3, and I'm on the first section of Clue 3, just to give you an idea of where I am at. So I won't talk about the shawl as I hold it up or any of the features of it because, again, if you do not want to be spoiled, I don't want to spoil it for you. So I will tell you when you can turn back and look at the camera so that nothing is ruined for you. So if you don't want to see this, look away now. Okay, if you were looking away, you can look back. The shawl is gone. I will not spoil anything for you any further. So as I said, it has been a lot of fun to knit. I've really been enjoying it. And that really has been getting the bulk of my knitting time is working on that because it is a lot of knitting with any of the Stephen West MKALs. There is a lot of knitting involved, and it can be really difficult to keep up with the clues. And I'm okay with that. Stephen released in his video where he was like picking everything, just some really like nice catchphrases. And like one of them is, "It's not a race. Embrace your pace." And so I'm doing that, and it's working out quite a bit. He just has such great nuggets. The man is a genius. I've said this before, but he really is a genius when it comes to shawl design, because if you looked at the shawl and you see it, you're just like, wow, how did this come together? And as you're knitting it as a mystery, you're very much in this space of like, how is this even gonna work? Because this is crazy. But it does. It all comes together in the end, and it works, and it's good. So a lot of fun, really enjoy it. That's good. As I am wrapping that up, I am definitely thinking about what might be coming next as far as knitting goes. I do want to knit a pair of socks as a gift for my cousin for Christmas, but that will not take very long, so I'm not particularly worried about that. That's something that I can, whip out pretty quickly in like a week or so if I need to. So that's something that I do want to cast on after I'm done with the Stephen West shawl. I do have some Advent knitting that I will be engaging in, and I do plan to do some Vlogmas. I hopefully will have another video or one or two out before, but I do want to do Vlogmas again because that is something that I've really enjoyed doing, and it just kind of helps create that festive feeling with Christmas. And this year with the pandemic not being quite as horrid, although a little bit more things may be going on, and so there might be more to kind of share as far as Vlogmas goes. So I will be doing that, coming up. That is it for the knitting stuff. If you want to stick around a little bit longer and I'll kind of update you with what's all been going on with my life and in the kids' lives, I encourage you to do so. If not, that's completely okay. I understand. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me this far. So as far as life stuff goes, as I mentioned, the week of homecoming really took its toll on me. I have been struggling a lot with the fatigue all through the month of October. It's just been a really difficult month for me. I've really felt a lot more run down, a lot more tired than I have been before. And I think a lot of that has to do with the busy schedule that we've been keeping and finding it difficult to find those moments to let my body rest and recharge. Even when I was being really intentional about doing that, it was still the constant go, go, go. Just, I never really got to rest or got to catch up. And so I'm really feeling that. I'm still feeling that a lot right now. And this weekend has been a little bit calmer. There hasn't been anything going on this weekend. And so that has made it a little bit easier to kind of rest and recover. Also, I think the shifting of seasons has really affected me a lot more than it has in the past. I can definitely feel a lot more pain in my body and aches and whatnot, which has been there through all of this, but it hasn't been super pronounced. It's gotten worse in the last month or so. So, you know, we're there. We're doing, I do have like activities that I do, you know, morning yoga every day. I try to like go for, you know, even if it's a really short walk around every day, just to try to do some of those like physical activity things. But the fatigue and all of that continues to persist and continues to linger. And I think I've reached this place where I'm kind of at peace with a lot of it, you know, without giving up hope or stopping, you know, just kind of like rolling over and letting this be what it is. I've also found a degree of peace where I'm not finding myself as being frustrated as often with all of it, even though it definitely can be frustrating. As far as the kids go, things have been going fairly well for them. We did have a bit of a COVID scare week that was a little bit stressful. I found out that Abby had a direct exposure from somebody. The girl that sits next to her in her Brit Lit class, as well as one of the swimmers, tested positive for COVID and was actually actively sick. Although apparently she didn't need to quarantine because she'd been vaccinated. I'm a little skeptical if the school was actually contacted regarding this particular case. I don't know. It was very strange. It just struck me as weird, and we didn't find out about it until later on. I don't know. It was very strange. Very strange. Then the same week, I got messages from Philip's school saying that there was a kid in his class who had tested positive, but he was not a close contact. So that was a little bit stressful. And then on Friday, the 22nd, I got a phone call from the health department saying, no, Philip actually was a close contact and that he needed to quarantine till the 25th. It was the 22nd. The 25th was Monday. I found out Friday at like 4:30 p.m. Turns out his exposure was on October 15th. I didn't find out about it until the 22nd. So it's really kind of been this, I don't know, it was very weird. Like, no wonder this thing is so out of control if we can't even properly contact trace or we don't notify. It was a very stressful week, and everybody ended up being fine. Nobody got sick. Everybody was healthy. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it still felt really stressful. And yeah, and so I'm just wondering, like, is this gonna be what the rest of the fall and the winter is gonna be like? A lot of this, like, what's going on? I don't know. But they did just approve the Pfizer vaccine for 5 to 12-year-olds, or 5 to 11-year-olds. So Philip will be able to be vaccinated, and that will kind of create a layer of comfort with him at least. So it was a very weird period of time, and we got through it, and we managed to make it all work. But I don't think that helped with all of the fatigue or anything. So that happened. It was a little nerve-wracking. And then Abby's marching band season has wrapped up. I'll have put in a video of their final competition, which they scored the highest the band has ever scored in its history at the competition. They ended up coming in second overall out of 23 schools, but the school that won had a really cool show. Like, it was very cool. They deserved to win. But we came in second, so that was really exciting. And that has wrapped up. Diving is kind of coming to an end and starting to wrap up, so we're starting to calm down a little bit before things with Philip ramp up again. So we're getting there. We're just, it's been busy and it's been hectic, but it's also good to have some things to do and to engage with. So I'm not complaining. It's just, I'm glad things are slowing down a little bit. And Abby is too. It was a pretty tough fall for her. She had a lot going on, and so she's ready for a little bit of a slowdown as well, as is Mom. So I think that's about it. I'm going to start just babbling about random things if I keep recording. So I think that I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Thank you for those of you who stuck around. I appreciate all of your love, all of your support, all of your messages throughout all of this crazy time. I am kind of trying to think of some ways to kind of create a better community space here. So I have some ideas that I'm still kind of tossing around in my head. So watch this space for some announcements on some ways to kind of create a better and a stronger community, because I would like to do that with you all. So watch for that. We will see if things start to kind of come together with that. And again, I want to thank you all for watching, for taking time out of your busy schedule to hang out with me. I do plan to get out at least one, if not two more videos before Vlogmas starts. So you will see me again shortly. In the meantime, enjoy your Halloween and the fall weather that is hitting us, and happy knitting. Bye.